Hey friends, in the previous video we had seen how we can install and configure OpenSSH and how we can use password authentication for making a secure and encrypted communications over the network from one machine to another. So if suppose if you just want to take a remote for any machine from your client machine, so you just use SSH command and username which exists on the remote machine at the rate IP address, and this is very simple. You can communicate. So now in our lab we have two machines. One is Ubuntu 1 and second is Ubuntu 2. So on the Ubuntu 1 we just install OpenSSH server and we'll see the status of the Ubuntu 1 machine by using a command that is system ctl and status and the service name, that is sshd. So this is my Ubuntu 1 machine, lab PC01, and account is lab1. So this is currently the status is fine and SSH is in healthier status. So we are just closing this. Now we have some account also which exists on my lab PC1, that is tux01. We will use this account for remote communications from client to machine. So first I will check the IP address of this Ubuntu 1 machine, that is the command is IP addr and show, because we are using Ubuntu machine. So we just use this command for checking the IP address for remote communication. So that is 192.168.183 and 129. So this is the IP address which we will use for remote communications. Now I will go on the Ubuntu 1 machine and I will use a command that is SSH and the account name which exists on Ubuntu 1 machine, tux1 tux01, and the IP address. So this is the IP address of remote machine. So in your environment the IP address may be changed, so be careful when you are just communicating through the SSH. So you must enter the correct IP address and the account name which exists on the remote server. Now it is asking for the password, because currently we have configured password based authentication, so that's why it is asking the password of the tux1 account which exists on the remote machine. So I'm putting the password. Now this has just allowed me to enter inside the remote machine by this user account and the IP address and the correct password as well. So this is the password based authentication. So we can cross check on the Ubuntu 1 machine as well by putting the command that is sudo sshd tcaps and pipe grep ecaps comma bracket and password and permit. I am using two parameters for checking the configuration inside this. Now you can see the password authentication is enabled. That's why we are able to access the remote machine on Ubuntu 2 machine by putting the correct password. So it just allowed us for remote communications. If this configuration is no, then you cannot access the SSH through the password authentication. So currently we just access these details. That's why I use the grep command and for the specific configurations. But if you just want to see the complete configuration, so you need to just remove this till pipe over here. Now press enter. You can see all entire configurations are available for the SSH configurations by using this command sudo sshd and -t. So this is just showing the entire configurations. Now we have just seen how we can access through the password based authentication. Now we will use the key based authentications, and once key based authentications will be configured, then we can just um, disable it for the password authentication. So this will not allow to use the password authentication. This will only allow to use the key based authentications post configuring on the Ubuntu 2 machine. So we will generate some key and then we'll put it on the lab PC 1, that is the SSH server. Next we will go on the Ubuntu 2 machine and we will make some changes by I'm just going to exit it from the remote communications, that is SSH over here. Now I just exited over here. Now I will use a command, that is SSH keygen. It's just generating some keys, that is RSA based. Press enter. So this is the location where we are just saving the key. If you just want to change the location, so just change the locations as per your requirement, but currently I'm using the default locations for this one. Now enter passphrase. So I always recommend put some passphrase instead of making it blank. It is just confirming over here. So the key has been generated, and post generating your keys, so you can validate it by entering this command. So now you can see ID underscore RSA and ID underscore RSA public. So this is the public key and this is the private key which is generated over here by entering the SSH keygen command. Post generating your keys on the client machine, what you need to do, you need to just copy this public key on the remote locations from to where you are just taking the remote. So I'm putting SSH copy ID and the username to whom you will take the remote of the remote machine. So this is tux01 192.168.183.129. After just entering this, you require the password of the tux01 because you are just copying the keys for the tux01. So this will just validate your authentication. Now it is asking for the password, so I will put the password of tux01, that is, after validating this will just copy the key over here. Now copying the key, what you need to do, post adding this, what you need to just try to log in again with your SSH, because I already accessed it. So I will use this SSH tux01 path. This is the command history command I'm using for connecting it again. So it's asking the private key for unlocking the machine. So what I will do, I will just use the command, the password passphrase which I just used for creating the keys over here. So now this has just allowed me to log in without using the password, and it's working like smoothly how we just use the password authentication. So you can cross check it again. So I'm using exit over here, and it's allowing me to log in it through the passphrase only. So this is the method which you need to just follow for adding for just accessing through the key. Now you can see this has just allowed to access the tux01 using the key based authentications. Now we can just also validate the keys which is allowed for this tux01 account. So either you will go on the Ubuntu 1 machines, but you can also use this SSH for remote communication. So because we already logged in over here, so what I will do, I will just use the cat command and I will verify the keys which are just stored or allowed from the machines for Tux01 account. So let's see. This is SSH and now authorized underscore keys. This is cat and AUTHORIZED authorized underscore keys. Now you can see, because we just generated the keys from Ubuntu 02 machine, and these all are the keys, so you can just cross check. Suppose if you are just trying to generate the keys from multiple machines, so you can just validate the keys from which machines this key has been generated and all. So this is the method which you can follow to see the keys which is allowed for SSH communications, for the key based authentications. And after configuring the key based authentications, you can disable it for the password authentications which we discussed earlier. So this is the method which you need to just follow for enabling the key based authentications in Ubuntu machines. Thank you for watching this video.